What are the challenges and the opportunities that you face when you manage Dell's reputation on a global scale?
Yeah, I hear the emphasis on global, but let me give you a little bit of context of where Dell is today. So Dell has an incredibly strong heritage. We are defined by something very specific about related to our business model, the direct model, the innovations that Michael brought to the supply chain and really democratizing access to PCs. That's our history. That's not today. And the industry caught up to us after many, many years of a lot of growth. And today we are an end-to-end IT solutions provider. We believe very strongly that it matters, the device that's in your hand, but the connection to the data center and being able to carry that all the way through is what's going to define us for the future. And there are a lot of aspects of what Dell is today that aren't known. So we're still building our credibility in the enterprise. We have more than 40,000 services employees who are really on the ground consultants who are helping to build IT infrastructures on behalf of our clients and really creating that understanding, building our credibility and creating awareness for where the company is changing and transforming is the challenge that we face. And for us, that's started internally, as I think anyone would say it has to. We had a few fits and starts, I will say. So, we've been on this trajectory where the company has been very clear about what the growth strategy is and where we think it's going to take us in the future for about 3 years. In parallel with defining that growth strategy, we did a really hard internal look at our brand. Said, what does that brand mean and how can we use that and leverage it to carry us through this transformation that we're trying to go through as a business. There were some surprises along the way. First and foremost, we thought that because we're in the consumer business and we're growing and very big in the enterprise business, that we were different things to IT decision makers than we were to consumers. We really quickly learned that IT decision makers are sending their kids to college, they're reading the Sunday paper, and they think of Dell in one way. They think about us in terms of practicality, access, really being able to rely on technology to help them achieve what their goals are. It's not about the technology, it's about what they're trying to achieve. And that was a big aha moment for the company. And to really say, well, we can align behind that. And we're one of the few technology companies that's still run by our founder. And Michael came back, several years ago. And from the very beginning, he said, it's not about the technology, it's about the potential that we can unleash on behalf of our customers, whether it's individuals or organizations. And when we looked at that in a fresh light, it was more true than ever for us and has continued to be what really drives us in terms of purpose for helping organizations and companies and individuals achieve what they want to do with technology. And so for us, in terms of a challenge, first and foremost, it's getting an engagement with a workforce that started out, been there before. We've seen a lot of different changes. Getting that level of engagement, we're really proud of the work that we did. We saw the hardest group were our managers, and which I guess we should have known, but when you see it in the stark numbers that your managers are 20% off of everybody else in believing the company's best days ahead, it's a really strong wake-up call. And 3 years later, we're up to best in class, but when we saw those numbers early on, it was frightening. Since then, we've worked very, very hard to continue to define the company and to show the proof points of how everything that we do each day, both for our employees, for our external stakeholders, and for influencers, ladders up to what the company is going to be in the future as an end-to-end solutions provider. So, 8 to 10 acquisitions every year for the last few years, trying to diversify the portfolio, really strong presence in the data center today, and continuing to push and define that and build that credibility.